Support for your public radio station comes from our members and from Renaissance Academy Charter School of the Arts, a public elementary school in Rochester with an arts-integrated curriculum designed to help children unlock neural pathways, overcome trauma, and thrive. Community support helps sustain programs and resources. More at renacad.org.
From WXXI News, this is Connections. I'm Evan Dawson. Our connection this hour was made at one of the many, many festivals this season in Rochester. Rochester's often touted as a festival city, and in this month's conversation with a team at City Magazine, we bring you the festival guide here. From music to food, arts and culture, of course, there's no shortage of festivals to frequent this season. And we're also going to do some other stuff. We're going to bring you an inside look at a Rochester staple, Zweigles. We also have an exclusive interview with City's advice columnists. One of the funniest people I know. I'd like to welcome our guest here. Leah, Stacy is editor-in-chief of City Magazine. Welcome back to the program.
Thank you so much.
Welcome to Roberto Lagares, multimedia reporter for City. Hello, Berto.
Thanks for having me.
Hey. Jacob Walsh is art director for City Magazine. Hello.
Hi, Evan.
And you really do have a very funny advice columnist. I just want to tell you this.
We do. Maggie is her name, right?
Do I have to call her Maggie on the air today?
Dear Maggie.
Okay.
I mean, you can, yeah. I was just telling Jake upstairs, it's like the worst kept secret. We literally list the person who writes the column, not as a byline on the column itself, but her name has always been in the front of the book. So if you're a sleuth enough to see which name got added or taken away, you could figure out who it is. I also think I tag her when I post about it on social media. So she's very funny, and she does a great job with this.
This is like the old Calvin and Hobbes comic strip where he steals Susie Durkin's doll, Mr. Bunn.
Yeah.
And then he clips magazine letters to write a ransom note. And he concludes with, "You cannot find me, you cannot trace me. Sincerely, Calvin."
It's the best piece of media to ever exist, I think, is Calvin and Hobbes.
Oh my God, you work for media.
I would say,
wow.
I love Calvin and Hobbes.
I think there's a strong argument for that.
I think it's amazing.
It's an incredible piece of philosophy.
Yes. As an only child who grew up with like a psychoanalyst for a dad, it was like, here's the books, and it's very like on brand for my experience of childhood and growing up.
You like that single panel where Calvin and Hobbes are crossing a stream and they see garbage in it, and Calvin says, "Sometimes I think the surest sign that alternate life exists elsewhere in the universe is that none of it has tried to contact us."
Yeah.
A 6-year-old.
It's amazing.
It's pretty cool.
It's funny.
I like
Juxtaposition. Spiky hair too. Not like Bart.
That influence your art at
You
all?
still
by the
with
way?
us?
No, I can't draw.
You can't draw?
No,
as the art director.
Correct. I can direct it. I can't illustrate.
That's
I've
interesting.
never claimed to be an illustrator, but yeah, you won't see me drawing stuff unless it's intentionally supposed to look bad or silly. I can, but yeah, no, there's no talent in that bucket of my life, unfortunately.
The title of the editor's letter is "What If It All Works Out?"
Mm-hmm.
Pretty provocative. What do you mean by that, Leah?
Oh, provocative. Good word. I don't know. Sometimes I write these in a certain mindset. No, I always write these in a certain mindset. Not sometimes. Not I think. It is. And I was having some thoughts that week. And I am one of those people, and I hate to admit this, but I know this about myself, who waits for the other shoe to drop, is like waiting for the other shoe to drop, right?
I always assume
like,
something bad's coming around the corner.
I always am like, what's going to happen next? And I don't want to be that person. I want to be like positive, like what if it all works out? It's going to be great. Like it's going to be a win. But I don't know if it's like the Irish in me. Sometimes we say that in our family, like, is it? We're like the Irish invent, terms of sadness and grief that don't even exist in other cultures, whatever. And it's, or it's like past trauma. Who knows? Like I could psychoanalyze myself. I don't even need a dad to do that. But yeah, I was just having one of those days where like I need to assume the best instead of the worst, and also like take action to make sure that that happens. So that was really the letter, and the state of our industry and the state of the world sits heavy with a lot of us, I think, right now. So yeah, it was a letter of like a little bit of a pep talk to myself and anyone else who might tend to feel that way.
I actually think that's really interesting, just because I tend to think now that like the 90s was like the peak of like blind optimism. Like everything, the Soviet Union has fallen. You know, like Fukuyama's book says peace is on the march, and you know that's going to be the state of the world, and you know we're going to have these flare-ups, but the world's going to be okay. I grew up at a time thinking like a lot of people around me were like, well, things will be fine, there'll be conflict, and now it's like flipped. A lot of kids are growing up thinking like somehow things are going to be terrible.
Yeah, wait, I saw a headline this morning and I was just like scrolling and I did not read this fully, but it was also provocative. It was something to the effect of like it's about to be graduation weekend and this is like the generation with the worst luck or something to that effect. I will find this headline. And it was like they went through high school during the pandemic. Now they're graduating into AI taking their first jobs.
Oh,
and I was just like, man, it's always something.
it's
and
really dark.
yeah, and like last night I was having a conversation with somebody and we were saying something like, you know, that it's not a great time for such and such right now. And then we like looked at each other at the same time and we're like, it's never a good time.
Yeah.
You just got to do stuff and you got to like change that mindset. So I've been fighting really hard to do that.
That's a very interesting perspective. By the way, I'm just going to flag for myself this idea. We should talk to some recent grads on this program and just be like,
You really should.
Do you feel like the weight of you were in a pandemic student and now there's the AI theft of the workforce, and are you like filled with angst, or are you like, no, we'll overcome it? Like I want to talk. I'm sure there's a range of views, but
Oh yeah.
we're gonna do a lot on that
I
this
would
summer.
be very interested to hear that show.
Yeah, I love that idea. So, all right, let me ask all three of you then. It's festival time. As you can look outside today on this 47-degree rainy day, it's festival weather, everybody.
Let's go.
So true.
And for all of you guys, staff picks for the first of all, how many festivals are there?
Great question.
I think like 800,000 of them. Right?
You're like 800.
The limit does not
You see the
exist.
fear? You see the fear in my
That
eyes?
is really, yeah.
I think it's like a lot.
Yeah,
a lot.
It's a big number.
It's close to 100, if not over. And I know that we already missed 2 that I've got to add online. And we stopped at October, and there's definitely more in November and December, and then going into next year. So, yeah, May through October. I don't know. Somebody count that.
It's a lot of festivals. Staff picks for the festivals. Leah?
So I wrote about, I think, Fringe Festival. I mean, obviously, I work on Cocktail Revival and have for 10 years. I love that festival. I don't really get to go to it. I'm more like, I'm there. I'm just like there, and I'm awake for a week. But I also wrote about the Hilton Apple Fest, which is something I grew up going to. My dad's family is from Hilton. And that's like a really sweet childhood memory. Like just like even the smell of apples to this day brings me back to like, oh, it's Apple Fest time. Or like I love fall, and I would always just kind of kick that into gear.
I love it. Berto?
Puerto Rican festival. Had to go back to some roots.
You're so predictable.
You know, I was like, I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna do it. I'm doing it.
You're doing
and here I am. But mostly the nostalgia of it. And that's kind of the big thing for me. Plus, I mean, really any excuse to have some really good food, some great music, and then relate to a bunch of people who I'm like, oh, okay, that's not unique to me. We all went through that. It's sweet. Yeah, that's great.
What about you, Jake?
Oh man, it's got to be the South Wedge Fest. I love living in the South Wedge. I love seeing it. I love seeing it busy. I love seeing it bustling. I love the South Wedge.
How walkable is the South Wedge?
Incredibly.
Yeah.
I mean, it's about as walkable as any place with sidewalks. I'm so sorry. That sounded very sassy. You mean like how easy is it to get to places where you want to go?
Yeah,
I would say it's very easy. Yeah. I like it. I like it over there.
If you got a couple days off, you can do a lot on foot.
I think you can. Yeah. I'm more of a. I find myself on the bike a lot.
No, but I kind of view that as like adjacent to walkable.
It is walk adjacent, yeah. But no, you have the main drag on South Ave. Many of my friends live there. Those are not public-facing businesses by any means, and they're not featured at the festival. But yeah, I love it. I love being down there. I love seeing it super duper alive instead of just the normal amount of alive. Fun to see a bustle.
Fun to see a bustle.
And you can quote that.
I love it.
I do like that.
No one's ever said it before because it's so dumb.
And Leah, Stacy, one of the things that has been sort of a consistent theme on the talk show recently has been about how we got back to, quote, normal post-pandemic, but certain things never fully got back to normal. Like some people still wear pajama pants in public, and like there's certain things that like just never really fully went back to like the before times. How are we doing on festivals in general here? Do you think the festival circuit is as strong as it was pre-pandemic?
Oh yeah, I would say this last year felt like it was back in full force. I mean, for any of us who went to festivals or like we cover a lot of stuff, it felt very quote unquote normal pre-pandemic times. I love that sweatpants is the example you chose.
Or pajama pants. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Are they okay on airplanes? That's a whole show. That's
like
yeah.
the only place I think they're okay outside the house.
Yeah.
I feel like the airplane, especially if it's like a red eye.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'm gonna get myself in trouble if I say any more than that here.
Cut his mic.
But before we get into Berto's piece here, I just want to ask you one other question on like an approach to this, because you can't cover every festival, dozens or hundreds.
Mm-hmm.
So what are you hoping this issue will do for people when they pick it up?
Well, I think the guide in particular is a great thing to just like leave on your coffee table right through October. It's a constant go-to for those listings, at least a starting point, especially if you're going to have family in town over the summer. You kind of want to take them somewhere. A lot of these are family friendly, so bringing your kids. Some of them are pet friendly. Some of them are, a little bit of a road trip. We have a fun little key that Jake designed all the icons for in there. And I think, aside from that, it bookmark it on the website too, because that's where if we did miss something, which, as I said, I've got to add 2 that I know of right now, you can go back to that, and it's kind of constantly being updated throughout festival season. So we really want this to be a resource.
Well, there's a really fun piece in here, the photo essay called Some Like It Hot.
Mm-hmm.
5 generations of Zweigles prove that family is a link to longevity, and we do have Julie Camardo, the CEO and 5th generation family member of Zweigles, on the line with us. First of all, Julie, hello, welcome.
Thank you. Pleasure to be here.
Great to have you. And Berto, what an assignment here.
Yes, it was amazing, absolutely amazing and delicious. I said I was going to take a break from eating some Zweigles. That did not last. It did not last.
Whose idea was this? Did you bring this in? Like, you know what? I love eating Zweigles. How about I just go do a piece on Zweigles?
No, I have to give all credit to Leah here with that. Every year it's a tough, you have to find that through line, and especially with the festival guide, it's like, okay, what's the through line? And then we're sitting up on 5, and she's like, hot dogs, that's the through line, like that's it. So then we actually both went to the Zweigle's HQ and got to see how the sausage is made, as they say.
So let me ask Julie here, with the history of this company, we find out that it's founded in 1880 by Julie's great-great-grandparents. That's Josephine and C. Wilhelm Zweigle, or is it Zweigle? What was the actual pronunciation, Julie?
We said Zweigle, but probably you're right. There must have been a little German accent in there along the way, I'm sure. So, yeah.
It was located at the corner of Joseph Ave and Kelly Street until it was forced to move to Plymouth due to urban renewal. And, you've got around, fewer than 60 employees, but some staff members have generations of families that have worked with and for you. Is that right?
That is correct.
I mean,
yes.
So it really is like family in many, many ways here. Julie, what's your first sort of memories of understanding what Zweigles had become, especially in this community?
My first memories. Wow, goodness. I guess for me, there's so many memories. I don't know if I can pinpoint one particular memory, to be honest. I think.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
Can you hear?
Yep.
Sorry. So what I think for me is most important, it's always the stories and the memories that people share with me that then just solidify the fact that, hey, I'm still here and this is why I am, at this helm of the family 5-generation business, and it makes it pretty amazing.
And you told Berto that that being in the city proper was important to your grandfather. Why?
So when the business was originally established, it was in the city of Rochester. And so when he looked to move and he was forced to move, there were employees who were from the city of Rochester. and he recognized the importance of having them being able to work at Zweigle's and being able to get to work on time, and he knew that that was important. Zweigle's has also been in the city since the inception, and for my grandfather, it was important that we be able to continue in the city of Rochester. We're a staple here in the city. We feel very grounded in the city. It's important for us to be here. And so we're the, kind of the city, and then the county, and then, our region beyond. It was something that we'll be able to continue to do. So the building that we're in now, it came with smoke houses, and we still use those smoke houses today. And I know Leah and Roberto saw them.
I love that. So what did you learn on this trip out there, Berto?
I learned that the one statistic that keeps sticking with me, because as I talk to everyone, you'll see throughout the piece, I ask them, what, white hot or red hot?
Yeah, of course.
Of course,
yeah.
You got to know.
Yeah.
And you'll see that the theme is always white hot, yet, and Julie, correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe it's 8-1 red hot over white hot. So it's almost like an if you know kind of thing. When you're talking to someone who really knows their Zweigles, they're gonna lean white hot. But
They're going to lean white or red?
They're gonna lean white.
Okay.
But the actual numbers of which performs better, it seems to be red hot. So I thought that was interesting. It's like, it's almost like maybe it's like a comfort thing where people are like, oh, I'm gonna go red hot, like traditional. That makes sense. But once you've had the white hot, you're like, oh,
So you're saying I'm because I'm a red hot guy, so I'm like lack of culture in the hots.
Maybe you need to just branch out a little bit. That's all.
Okay.
Throw a little Dijon mustard or something like that. I'm just saying. I just noticed that everyone kept saying white hot, and I was like, wow. I mean, it's 8-1 red hot over white hot, but everyone keeps saying white hot. So I thought that was really interesting. And yeah, I mean, just seeing the inception of it, and then going, then luckily we were able to go to ESL ballpark and kind of see that the end line of it all. Is, I don't know, it was just nice to kind of see that cycle.
All right. So first of all, Julie, any surprise there on like this fight over what red and white hots?
So, well, not for me. I've been living with it for, years since I was born. But no, it's just that white hots are so unique to our area. Something that makes Rochester special that no other place has.
What is the actual difference with a red and a white hot? People want to know, Julie.
I can't tell you.
Oh.
Just kidding. So it's a different meat blend. So we use pork, beef, and veal in our white hot dogs. There's no nitrates, no cure. They're 100% there's nothing, no celery powder, completely nitrate free, and it's a different spice blend. So it's similar to maybe a Weisswurst, but it's not a Weisswurst. And it is just a very delicious, unique product that we manufacture that sets Rochester apart from the rest of the United States, really.
I'm waiting for the recipe on the red hot. You're not going to give us that one?
No. Sorry, I guess I could say the red hots are pork and beef, and they have a different spice blend, a different makeup, and they do have nitrates in them and cure, so it's a different product.
An interesting observation from Berto in this piece is that for some, hot dogs is like, well, that's like the taste of summer. That's ballpark. That's celebrations. That's holidays. But for others, it's about literally feeding families on a budget.
Yeah. Yeah, and that was important right from the jump when we first started diving into, but really before we even visited the factory. It was something I really wanted to touch on, as both on a personal level, growing up. I have 8 brothers and sisters, and there's definitely like what I quoted, like the struggle meal, and hot dogs are a part of that. So it's like it sits in this like duality, and I felt that it was important to kind of touch on how it's kind of sitting there, and the role and the importance, how it is. It's beyond festivals, but it is a staple and a pillar in festivals.
Absolutely. Let's grab Anthony and Victor on the phone with a question before we let Julie go. Hey, Anthony, go ahead.
Hi, Evan. How are you?
Very good.
I got a question for the person from Zweigle. quarter pounder large hot dogs, but now they're only making them in the pop. Are they going to bring the other ones back?
The quarter pound hots is what you're asking. Are they going to bring those back?
Yes, I don't see them in the stores anywhere and have them for the last couple of years.
Okay, Julie?
Yeah, you're right. Are we going to bring them back? If someone, so not in the retail package the way that you're thinking. We do sell them in the larger packages to distributors, Palmer's. You could probably get them at Palmer's if you would like them. But the Wegmans and Tops, they do not sell those quarter pounders. So the skinless ones you're talking about.
All right, Anthony. So maybe Palmer's, it sounds like. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
You should be able to call up Palmer's Market. They're brand new. They're back brand new. They're not brand new. They just reopened their market, and hopefully they can help you.
So, Julie, what is the reach of Zweigle's? How far do your products go now?
Yeah, so a simple kind of geographic is, we say 50 miles to the north, south, east, and west of Rochester, the city of Rochester. Reality, we're a little bit bigger than that. So wherever there's a Wegmans, we are sold. We do very well in certain specific parts of Wegmans, the Virginia, the Maryland, the North Carolinas, places where we have some Rochester transplants. And then we do have some presence in the Buffalo and Syracuse markets as well.
And in Berto's piece, we hear that, this really is a local operation, start to finish, making a hot dog from raw meat, grinding, stuffing, cooking, chilling, packaging. It's all here. Has there ever been a consideration to move Zweigle's elsewhere?
There was a brief consideration at our most recent expansion where we looked to build outside of the Rochester, New York, I should specifically say, area. But our roots are in Rochester. Our fan base, our history is here. And this is the city that loves us. This is the city that supported us, the area, all of the people, Rochester, greater Rochester area. And so, it didn't make sense for us to move. This is our home. This is where we belong.
Is there a round number of how many hots you're creating a year?
How many hot dogs are we creating a year? I guess we do things more in pounds than hot dogs.
Let's do pounds. How many pounds?
Yeah, so that's okay. So it's not all hot dogs that we make. It's about 5 million or so pounds over for the years. So,
wow.
Give or take.
Yeah, amazing. All right, so this is how we're going to wrap here. For me,
okay,
it's a red hot, although Berto is trying to convince me to get on the white hot bandwagon.
Highly recommend it.
But for now, it's a red hot, ketchup only for me. Although I would do relish, I would do onions. But for the most part, it's ketchup only red hot. Berto?
I'm a white hot with Dijon mustard. Simple. However, I'm also full dressed. Throw everything on it. Borderline Chicago dog. Okay. So I'm kind of on that duality I was talking about, feast or famine. That's what I'm talking about.
The only thing I would reject would be the mustard. I had a scarring experience with horseradish as a child, and anything related is hard for me. But everything else I can do. So,
fair.
Okay. Jake?
For me, it is a white hot on a charcoal grill, popped open on a New England-style bun with Dijon mustard and sauerkraut.
Nice.
There's nothing like it. And I didn't even have to think about it. I'm usually thinking about eating that bang right there.
Right. Are you laughing at me, by the way?
Yeah.
With the scarring experience with horseradish?
It's so specific.
And
let that ruin mustard for you. I don't know. I feel like we need to revisit this.
I had a ham and cheese sandwich with mayonnaise prepared by my stepmother when I was 10, except for the mayonnaise was horseradish, and I was not prepared for it.
That sounds kind of good.
It's tough. Tough if you're not expecting it.
Yeah,
you think you're being
tough as a
poisoned.
I was
10-year-old.
not ready. Okay, so what's your choice here, Leah Stacy?
It's always game time decision for me. I gotta go with my gut right then if there's the choice. But if I'm eating a red hot, it's also ketchup. And if I'm eating a white hot, it's probably Dijon as well. Maybe some relish.
All right.
The sauerkraut thing sounds good, though.
Julie, is there a
so
go-to?
good.
You want to take us out with your go-to?
Sure. So you should be a white hot when everybody else is a red hot kind of gal. And so I said to Roberto and Leah when they came, I said, you don't need to put anything on top of the Zweigles because we're delicious just the way we are. But if I were to have one, I am a Dijon mustard girl. I'll put on some relish and maybe some hot sauce. So depends on where I am. But yep.
Julie Camardo is the CEO of Zweigle's. Long family history, a great piece from Berto in this edition of City Magazine. Thank you for making the time for the program. A lot of fun talking to you, Julie.
Thank you so very much. You all have a great afternoon.
See, and you notice, Berto, that I didn't say that we're in Zweigle's season. It's like talking to a winemaker and saying, oh, it's rosé season.
Yes.
And they're like, oh, you're only going to consume our products during like a small window of time?
True.
It's Zweigel season all year round for a lot of people, but I think it's like especially.
You could say grilling season.
Yeah.
Right?
It feels
I give Zweigel's, all of baseball. That's a big season.
all of baseball. That's a big season.
It's a big season.
Yeah, it's a big
You know what I'm
season.
saying? And then like a little downtime for some
Yeah.
coquito or something. I don't know.
100%. All right, let's take our only break of the hour. We're going to come right back with the city team. We're going to talk Flower Power, Summer of Whimsy, Ticket to Ride, Press Play. There's a lot that is in this issue that we're going to cover. And in our second half hour, we're also going to talk about what's going on at International Plaza. And we are talking the advice columnist, the masked advice columnist for City Magazine. We'll come right back with the team from City.
Support for your public radio station comes from our members and from Bob Johnson Auto Group, believing an informed public makes for a stronger community. Proud supporter of Connections with Evan Dawson, focused on the news, issues, and trends that shape the lives of listeners in the Rochester and Finger Lakes regions. BobJohnsonAutoGroup.com. And Excelis Blue Cross Blue Shield, working with members to find health coverage for every stage of life, helping to make care and coverage more accessible in more ways for more people across the Rochester community. Details online at excelisbcbs.com.
This is Connections. I'm Evan Dawson. So we're going to take just a couple of minutes now. We've got the issue here with us. I saw a stack in the Greased Library yesterday. It's
Nice.
out everywhere. City Magazine is the festival guide now. It's out now. And I like Leah's idea. Like, grab it and keep it through the fall because festivals, we are in that season and it goes for months now. But there's always great stories there. Tell me a little bit about Flower Power, Gino's story on the city of Rochester's mark. I love that, Leah, Stacy.
Oh yeah, so that festival it almost came out of nowhere for us. We knew about the documentary, but we didn't know there was going to be a festival. And when we say the flower mark, we mean the city logo essentially that you see everywhere. And so in Gino's story is a little bit of history on the design and some quotes from the designer himself. And the festival is, I believe, Saturday, June 6th, without looking. And they currently have the bridge here at High Falls closed because they're resurfacing it because the festival is going to be right on the bridge. So that'll be interesting. And he also talked to a couple folks who are participating in the festival as artists. You know, they have used the Flower City mark as part of their art. A lot of people have it tattooed on them. He talks a little bit about that. So it is a cool piece of like Rochester lore, but also at this point, it's really becoming Rochester history. And again, I'm not looking at this directly, but does anyone have offhand the origin year of the Flower City mark?
I don't.
1976.
Yes.
1970.
Thank you.
50 years.
1976, 50 years. There you go.
Yes.
There's got to be a connection there.
I like it.
Yep.
There is,
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah.
So interested to see how this festival goes. And there's, again, going to be a documentary with full disclosure. We have some folks from WXXI working on that documentary and including our own Katie Epner. And then it will premiere at the Little Theater. And I believe they are trying for more than one showing, but don't quote me on that. They haven't announced the dates yet. Actually, there was a special screening in late May, and then they're gonna air the full documentary, which is still being produced.
Okay. I like Flo Cardella's piece, Summer of Whimsy. It's the idea on how to get the most out of the summer season.
Yeah.
My technique over the years is to you write down your bucket list. Like, what do you love to do?
Yeah.
And what do you want to not? You don't want to wake up like on October 1 and go, I can't believe we didn't X, Y, or Z. And sometimes that's taking a walk in your favorite park or going to your favorite beach or, picking up an Abbott's or something.
Yeah.
That's a strategy for me. What about you?
Every summer, I'm like, I'm going to do this thing. Like last summer, it was like, I'm going to take my niece and nephew, like go with them to Seabreeze. And we didn't do it. So this year, I'm like, we got to do it. We got to just you just got to pick the date. If it's something where it's like you're planning several schedules, you just got to do it. Just pull the plug, get the date, buy the tickets, go, because summer is so short here.
I know.
It goes by in a flash and you're like, oh man, we had that list. I also think for me, it's like making a realistic list. Like I would totally overshoot that and be like, I'm going to do all these things. But maybe breaking it down by month and just picking like 2 or 3 things. And then you're going to feel so accomplished by the end of the summer.
That's pretty good.
And I think flows are really sort of broad.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And you could even maybe do a couple of them at a time.
Yeah, no, Flow always has interesting ideas, including, by the way, build your own soundtrack. I knew people who used to do like a mix of summer every summer when we used to burn CDs. Remember that, everybody?
I was one
or
of
maybe
those people.
Mix tapes.
Yep.
Remember that?
Yep.
I'm still burning CDs. I love it.
Yeah, Berto's like, mixed tapes? What is a tape?
Berto is old school as well.
I'm in there.
He's in the analog.
I ruined my grandma's computer with LimeWire.
Yeah.
I'm in there.
How else are you going to download Papa Roach singles?
Exactly.
Exactly.
Right.
Are you like a summer soundtrack person?
Yeah, I am. I think so. Like I have a playlist. I have a few playlists.
Yeah,
all of mine are based off of random things. Like I have a playlist called Raining in October, but there's a disclaimer that says you can play this anytime it's raining. It gets a lot of love because it's always
Can
raining.
you play it when it is not raining? You cannot. You really
I can't. No, it is just not
Be a
the vibe.
mistake.
Yeah, but then I've got one called Kodak Gold 200 that's based off of the film stock, which is notoriously used in the summer. A lot of good vibes, warm, uplifting.
We're artists, Evan.
You
we
weren't
do
expecting
stuff like
that.
this.
You weren't expecting
That's
like
so
no.
specific.
Yes.
I love that. Jake, what do you do to make sure that you hit October 1st and you don't look back and go, oh my gosh, I didn't do anything that I wanted to do?
I make sure to set a default for. Let me back up. I like to designate an activity as a default that I would like to do, and what I always want to do is I want to go to the beach with my fiance, lay around there, take a dip, and then like go get ice cream. And I would say we do that, I don't know, 10 times a summer. We do it a lot.
Yeah.
We do it, and it's like, it is truly the best. It's one of my favorite things to do, and I just try to think of the things I like to do the most and make sure I do them, and that usually ends up working out. Which reminds me, I have to like book a campsite for this summer. I have to do that now, right about now.
You wait any longer.
Yeah, I'll get the dregs, which is always where we end up, and it's always fine because you're in a tent.
There's a campsite called the Dregs, by the way.
Really?
Yeah, it's actually just a parking lot.
Oh, no kidding.
No, it's not
They
actually.
paved paradise to put that up, right?
Yeah, they did.
That's what I thought.
Oh, man.
I gotta go.
They did. Oh,
Thanks,
that
everybody.
could be on the summer playlist there. All right, so before we bring in Jason Barber, so real quick, I just want to ask you about 2 other stories, Leah, because we're going to run out of time here. Patrick, who is has vanished into thin air.
Oh, stop. Oh, my God. Don't make
The
me
Thanos
emotional.
snap.
He's vanished into parenthood, appropriately so.
Yeah, he's on parental leave again.
Which is great. Good for him.
Yeah.
And we wish him well. His piece is on Ticket to Ride on the Upstart Ticking Co.
Yeah. So this is a story about a company that relocated here from Brooklyn. The founder of the company is not originally from here, but married a Rochesterian. And as happens, they moved back home to be close to family. And actually got connected to Trevor through the Chamber of Commerce because he had plugged in there and was kind of like putting some feelers out in the community. And so several companies locally, several festivals locally are kind of partnering with Ticketing Co. and working to, he's working to create a very strong hometown base where his company is now located. And the thing that is really cool is like a Humanitix, which is a ticketing platform that gives a portion back to charity. You can do that through Ticketing Co. and you can make it a local charity, which is, extremely cool. And Trevor is a very motivated, going back to that positivity conversation we had at the beginning of the hour, just like a very bright spot in the community. It's cool to see this company here and to have something like that based in Rochester. So it felt very relevant to festival season.
Oh, that could be. This is going to be its own conversation on connection soon. It's
Yes.
really, really an interesting story.
Yes, it
Yeah,
is.
It really is, for sure.
Yep.
So we're going to set that aside, and that is something we will talk about on a different day. Really cool story. And press play. Oh my gosh, Jay Milton.
Doesn't he look so cool in that photo?
This is like our old colleague. He is such a stud.
He's so cool.
The Rochester band, The Demos, reviewed by John Heath. And Jay Milton just is the stud of studs here.
Yeah, and Crit Opera did a great photo of them there. The Demos, it's such a cool story because I think I'm squarely the same age as them. So I remember when they were on tour back in, the days when Joywave was the hoodies. And it was just like Jake probably remembers this a little bit too. The music scene was very different. We had these bands that were like really going after getting signed, and some of them had offers and they were touring around the nation, and it was like really exciting. Like I remember working with Troy Smith at the Insider magazine at the DNC, and he would go in the van with them for like a week or two and like go on tour, and like it was like our own little MTV mini series with these bands. So I didn't know Jay until I started working here, and then after he left WXXI, the Demos kind of got back together and they grew the band by a couple members, and now they're playing at Lilac Fest. And so that is what the story is about. I believe their show is May 14th.
Yep. So they'll be at the festival. Jay, congrats, man. Good to see you back on stage. You're looking more boss than ever there. He looks amazing.
Yeah.
You
got to go to one of their shows.
I definitely want to.
They just played the Bug Jar 2 months ago.
I think so.
I'm going to rage at their shows. It's going to be amazing.
I'm going to go just to see that.
Yeah.
I'll bring the Tylenol.
Just for the spectacle. One place that you can go for a lot of what's going on in festival season is the International Plaza. The piece in this edition of City is called A Cultural Hub by Kellen Beck. And you also have a nice list of events happening up here at the International Plaza. And we have Jason Barber on the line with us from International Plaza. He's the site manager with the International Plaza and Ibero-American Development Corporation. Jason, welcome back to the program.
Hey, I'm glad to be back.
So one of the things that you told Kellen Beck is that this year we're changing things up a little bit. We're doing a lot more here. So what's on the menu here? Kind of take us through what you expect.
Oh my gosh. I think this year we're really, last year we were really surprised. We had over 4,000 people come to our Dominican Day event, and this year we're expecting the same number. But we're also trying out different ideas. I have a raffle/game event for our community. We're already expecting about 1,000 people to attend that raffle event at the end of this month. We moved around Pride and turned it from kind of just a drag show into the first Latinx pageant in Rochester. So we're changing up the ideas of the plaza, but we're also bringing in new people. We have Corey Brooks, who runs Corey Bakery. He's making these amazing little mini cakes that you can come and deck out, and he's also going to be doing flan. He's going to be doing a lot of other different stuff. We have Paul Seasons, a little spice shop. But we also have a traditional one. And we also been working really close to the commissary, Hanover, the commissary. We've started bringing their vendors over to the plaza, and we're hoping to kind of build that relationship during the off season where our vendors can go to the commissary and their vendors can come to the plaza during our festival season.
And the festival season is Sundays. The opening ceremony was this past Sunday. You've got a Mother's Day celebration coming up this coming Sunday?
Yes, we do. Hopefully, knock on wood if it doesn't rain. But yeah, this opening, we had our largest opening ever. We had over 350 people come to the opening. And so it's been really encouraging to kind of see the growth of the plaza and to see, people wanting to come there and really just have fun. It's a really joyful experience. And I really wish that all of you guys can come out during the season on one of our Sundays. I mean, we're open Wednesday through Sunday, but our events are on Sunday, and it's just so much fun. There's people dancing, there's people singing, there's just it's a full-on experience.
You got to explain one thing to me here. So Jason is always talking about the great food and why not. And in the piece here, you're talking about people eating empanadas, getting coffee, tamales, pastelitos, and then alcapurrias, which is not something I know. Jason, can you explain?
It's a really unique Puerto Rican dish. It's yuca and plantains. The yuca is pureed and then inside of it is meat. So it's kind of this long kind of corn dog version, but made out of yuca and plantains.
Berto, are you familiar?
It's
Yes.
very sweet.
But I'm personally not a huge fan, but that's because I was forced to try it when I was a kid, and similar
it's the same with me.
horseradish situation. But yeah, where I didn't like it because my grandpa kind of was like, "You have to try it," and then I was like, "I don't like it," and he's like, "Try it again." I was like, "Oh, yeah."
That was like me with malted goya. My abuelo made me drink malted goya. Yeah.
I drink too much malted goya.
Yeah.
I mean, but if you're not down with alcapurrias, then you got the tamales and the empanadas and the pastelitos, and you're going to find something there.
Ooh, yeah.
Oh my God.
You'd be hard-pressed not to like it all.
We also made sancocho this Sunday. We're probably making it almost every Sunday now. One of our vendors is making sancocho, which is just amazing. It's one of the best dishes you could possibly have. It's a long form stew that, with yuca, potatoes, plantains, meat in it. It's so good.
Well, if people want to see the full schedule, well, first of all, you've got the Sunday schedule in the City Festival Guide, of course.
Mm-hmm.
Where do you want them to get more information, Jason?
I mean, they can go to us on Facebook. They can also go to our website. We're always looking for vendor opportunities, too. So nonprofits, businesses, if you have a small little craft shop, if you have a food vendor, there's so many opportunities to be at the plaza throughout the Sundays. And it's just a really great opportunity. And it's also the most affordable vending fee in Rochester. We're $20 for just a regular vendor and $40 for a food vendor. And it's free. First two events are free for any nonprofit, and $20 for any business.
Remind people where to find you if they haven't been to the plaza, Jason.
So you can just come to the plaza. It's over on North Clinton Ave. It's right across from St. Michael's Church. It's one of the most beautiful churches. You'll know when you see St. Michael's. We'll be right there. It'll be right across the street. So you can see the steeple from anywhere in the city.
Have an awesome festival season, man, and thank you for making time for the program today.
Thank you for having me.
Jason Barber is the site manager for the International Plaza, Ibero-American Development Corporation, and they have a big list of what's going on. But that's what City's doing. They're taking you through all these festivals. And in a moment here, we're going to have to make a decision on whether we're going to unmask who's your...
Maggie.
Maggie.
Yeah.
Maggie is your advice columnist here, because we've been talking about the festival guide, but Dear Maggie is a staple.
Mm-hmm. At this point, yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So how did you find Maggie, first of all? How did you decide Maggie was your advice column?
Well, Maggie came to me with the idea, but I had wanted to do something like this, and we had talked about it. I think we've talked about this off and on for a couple years, right? Just kind of diversifying some of what we call the furniture in the magazine, these like standing pieces. And we thought, an advice column would be really fun, but we were kind of going back and forth on like, who should write this? And then Maggie came to me. We were chatting about the magazine and had written at least one other freelance piece for us, I believe. We'll have to confirm that with her. Or we had at least talked about her doing that, and was like, what about an advice column? And I said, oh my God, that's a great idea. And it's been really fun.
It feels kind of old school, and I love it.
Right.
I think we've got Maggie ready. The mysterious Maggie from City Magazine.
There she is.
There's Maggie. How are you?
I'm doing very well. Thank you for having me on, Evan.
So I'm going to start by reading the question from Camera Shy for you. And then I want you to kind of take me through a little bit of, like, how does an advice columnist kind of come up with the right mix for somebody? Because a lot of these kind of questions become pretty universal. It's one person's story, but there's so many people who can relate here. So Camera Shy says, Dear Maggie, I've started pursuing social media content creation, and I feel like my friends don't respect my work. It's not full-time yet, but I'm serious about turning it into something sustainable. At first, they were supportive, but now I get backhanded comments when I pull out my phone to try to capture content. One person has asked not to be recorded at all, and while no one else said that they have a problem specifically, the vibe has definitely changed. I feel like I can't share a big part of my life. Is there a way to balance pursuing this dream and keeping my friends. That's from Camera Shy. So tell us a little bit about what you wanted to express there, Maggie.
So I guess I would say I always start with drawing on experience. One of the benefits of being me is that I have a lot of varied experiences in my life, both good and bad. And this was one that definitely resonated. I've had friends, as I mentioned in the column, that, you're kind of in a rough spot. Maybe you're not communicating the way you want to, but you want to preserve the friendship. So how do you do that? And so going through this question, it was, immediately, oh, I've been through this before. This is how I handled that situation. And the desired outcome was to keep these friends. But part of it also, too, is like calling a spade a spade. You always have those people in your life that are like your sounding board that'll just agree with everything. I think a job of the advice columnist is to kind of tell people, like, you're wrong. You kind of need to roll it back, do some self-evaluation and, some self-reflection in order to get to the place that you need to get. But ultimately, it's like, how does somebody walk away with the best advice to get the outcome that they're looking for that's healthy for them?
If you're watching on YouTube, we've now unmasked Maggie as the great Vanessa Cheeks, and she's really one of our favorite regular Connections guests here, because Vanessa seems to know so much about so many different things here. Were you the type of person growing up that you had friends who would turn to you? Were you like the person everyone would kind of dump their stories to, confide in, talk to you about relationships, ask you questions? Was that you?
Yes and no. So like I said, I wish I could say that my wisdom comes from being an old soul or an empath, but really it just comes from going through a lot of stuff, Evan. And so that's kind of where I pull from. And because of that, people have started coming to me over the last few years at work for career advice, personal advice, in my daily life, asking me questions, what they should do. And my goal anytime I want to give advice person to person is like, how do you do that from a middle instead of, again, being like on one side or the other? Because I don't think that's helpful. And so this is just a broader way to do that, to reach more people.
So Leah, Stacy, I actually think this is a really smart time to have an advice column because I think a lot of people are struggling, again, post-pandemic, but sort of in the new digital world. People are struggling in relationships in a lot of different ways. And sometimes it's because the social skills that you used to gain from just being together all the time and having to work things out and, having to figure out how to do things. A lot of our time is now spent digitally, and it doesn't always lend itself to like person to person. So I actually think it's a really smart time for this.
No, I agree. And I think Vanessa has done a wonderful job with the last few columns of hitting like different points of life, but they are usually tied to a relationship, right? Like this is the stuff we ask for advice about and really like value. She had a great one about parent and sibling dynamic, like sibling dynamic specifically when you're trying to do something nice for your parents in our family issue. And then there was your last one about date? Is she still with us?
Oh, of course.
Okay. Was your last one the dating one where we got that email back?
Oh yes, about like how to
meet people,
date in the real life versus online. Yes,
and that's
I did
great.
Alan reached out. Love Alan.
Yeah, Alan. Shout out to Alan. That was such a like genuine email. He was like really conversing with Maggie through this email that he sent us.
And so, what's in general? What do you want Alan and others in that situation to take away from it, Vanessa?
To put yourself out there. Alan is one person, but I know a few people, including myself, who are really trying to date. But like you said, like dating online, it's not that person-to-person connection, and we're really missing that in life. And so you kind of have to be willing to embarrass yourself a little bit and like ask the person at the coffee shop what book they're reading and like spark up a conversation, or just go out and do new things, like force your friends to be your wingman or wingwoman to take you out, so that way you can like be comfortable being out in like situations with other people. But ultimately, like you gotta just, I don't want to say stop being scared. I think nerves are a natural part of life, but you just gotta go for it.
How do people get in touch with Maggie, Leah?
So we have this line at the bottom of the column that says, send your burning questions to Maggie@rockcitymag.com, ROCCitymag.com. And we have gotten a few submissions. Again, like Vanessa and I kind of go back and forth. Like She always has a few like ready to go, which is great. Or at least a couple questions that are like cooking. And we like loosely have been theming them to the issues. So, like I said, the family one. This one I think is kind of a fun fit for festivals because like you are going to see the micro influencers out with their phones at all these festivals. So yeah, this has just been like it's been such a fun addition, and Vanessa's done a wonderful job.
And I got to say, before we let you go, Vanessa, I really appreciate the fact that you're telling us that people are trusting you for advice, but sometimes you're giving yourself that same kind of pep talk, and that we're all going to stumble. Like nobody's at the top of the mountain. Like I figured it all out, and now I will bestow the wisdom to the masses below. Your humility makes you an even better writer and thinker. I think. That was my observation.
Oh, I appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you.
Are you having fun with it, Vanessa?
Oh, I'm having so much fun. I am a nosy Nelly, and I love a little hot gossip, especially if it's like low stakes. So please feel free to send me your questions. And it's just all part of the fun of being able to give people advice. And it's not unsolicited because you're asking me my opinion. So
that's right. It's Maggie at rockcitymag.com. Thank you. Nice to see you. Nice to unmask you. And we'll talk to you again in the real world, Vanessa. Thank you.
Thank you.
Truly one of the smarter, funnier, more generous people you'll meet. By the way, Summer in Studio E is a show celebrating the world-renowned classical music festivals of the Finger Lakes. Over the course of the summer, 5 ensembles will join us in Studio E for live music performance and conversation starting June 3rd with the artists in residence of the Geneva Music Festival, performing music for string quartet. And you can stay tuned for more information and see the latest updates at wxxiclassical.org. So many great festivals, so many good things happening. Jake, Berto, Leah, great to see you. Congrats on another great issue. Thank you. Really, really lovely. Thanks. Zweigle's Red Hots, everybody. Red Hots.
Ooh-wee.
Fighting words.
Brutal.
Words to close.
Brutal.
The festival guide is out now from City wherever you find it. Pick it up, hold on to it, and have a great festival season. From all of us, thanks for being with us. We'll talk to you tomorrow on member-supported public media.
This program is a production of WXXI Public Radio. The views expressed do not necessarily represent those of this station, its staff, management, or underwriters. The broadcast is meant for the private use of our audience. Any rebroadcast or use in another medium without expressed written consent of WXXI is strictly prohibited. Connections with Evan Dawson is available as a podcast. Just click on the Connections link at WXXInews.org.